Kims with Ekapadam Yashaha. Yasha means fame. We all want to become famous. Everybody should know us. On what does fame depend on? So the answer given by Yudhishthira is Dānam Ekapadam Yashaha. So if we want to become famous and well known, we have to do Dāna. Dāna means charity. How do we become famous? By doing charity. We have to understand. So Dāna is a very important term which comes in most of our scriptures. So let us try to understand what Dāna is. So we all know Dāna means charity, or it is to give donation. That is what we have understood, right? Dāna is to give donation. We go to some place, we give some donation, that is Dāna. That is one aspect of Dāna. That is one aspect of Dāna. All our scriptures, all our Vedas and various other texts have given a lot of importance to Dāna. Just to give a brief review, we have the Upanishads which come at the end of the Vedas. We have the 4 Vedas. At the end of the Vedas, you have the Upanishads. Most of the Upanishads talk about Dāna. For example, the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which says that if we want to develop good characteristics as a human being, we have to have these 3 things. What are they? Dhamma, Dāna and Daya. So Dāna is one of the aspects. So similarly, the Chandogya Upanishad talks about 5 main qualities which a person should have, and the aspect of Dāna is one among the 5. We also have Bhagavad Gita, right? So Bhagavad Gita comes in the Mahabharata, and it is a dialogue between Bhagavan Shri Krishna and Arjuna, where Lord Krishna categorizes Dāna. Dāna, that is charity. He puts them into 3 categories. It comes in the 17th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, right? So now we have to try and understand what is Dāna and what are the various types of Dāna. We just feel that giving money or putting some money into the donation box is Dāna. So let us see what are the different kinds of Dāna or charity which has been enumerated in our scriptures. The first and the most important happens to be Annadana or Ahara Dana. So what is Annadana? Annadana is to give food for the needy, food for the poor, right? So in most of our temples, most of the temples you have Annadana. What is Annadana? Anybody who comes to the temple, free food is given. So that aspect is known as Annadana. So it is not only giving money for food, there are people who even cook and feed the poor people. So actual benefit of doing Annadana comes where we ourselves cook and we feed the poor people. So that is when we get the complete merit of doing Annadana. So the most important or the first aspect of type of Dana is Annadana. Then we also have another Dana which is called as Aushadha Dana. Aushadha means medicine. So who does Aushadha Dana? It can be a doctor or anybody. Providing medicines to those who cannot afford medicine. Or it can be a doctor who is providing free service to poor patients. They cannot afford medical treatment. So you are giving Dana. That means you are providing free medical service. So that comes under Aushadha Dana. Then the next type is again very important. It is called as Vidya Dana or Jnana Dana. So what is Vidya Dana? It is to provide knowledge to others. So you know something, so you provide knowledge to the others. It can be students or it can be anybody else. It can be your colleagues. You know some information or you have gained knowledge. You have to share that knowledge with others. So that is known as Vidya Dana. Next, the fourth one is Abhaya Dana. Abhaya Dana is to offer protection or safety. So this aspect comes in the Ramayana, where Vibhishana comes and Sri Rama gives Abhaya to Vibhishana. He comes and falls at Rama's feet and says, you please provide me protection, and Rama provides protection to Vibhishana. So that is called as Abhaya Dana. And in those days, the kings or the rich people also used to do Go Dana. Go Dana is to gift cows. So Go Dana. Next, you also have Bhu Dana. Bhu Dana is to donate land. So in olden days, the kings used to give Dana, land for people. So these are all the different types of danas. Have you understood? I'll just repeat. One is Anna Dana. Next one is Aushadha Dana. Then Vidya Dana, Abhaya Dana. And then you also had Go Dana and Bhu Dana. So there are people who do Dana in different ways for various needs. There are some people who do Nitya Dana. What is Nitya Dana? Nitya means what? Daily, at regular intervals. There are some people who would like to every day do, go to the temple and, give some food to, beggars or somebody who are staying there, okay, or once a week. So in olden days, there was this process known as Varada Uta, Varada Anna. I remember my own professor saying that when he was young. I think nowadays even I have not seen, even my mother has told that when she was small, there used to be a child who used to come to their house, to our ancestral house once a week. Varadanna anta. So what was the concept? In a locality, if there were children from poor family, the other members of the community, say other 4 or 5 houses who could afford, would decide and say that these poor children can come to our house for food. Right? Say 4 or 5 children who are really from poor family will come to our house for food. Now providing food for 4 or 5 children every day may be difficult. So what was done? Monday all of them will go to one house. Tuesday they would go to another house. Wednesday they would go to another house. So the lady of the house would cook food and then she would serve food for the children. So I remember, I cannot name the professor. So he had told me that when I was studying, when I was small, our condition was so bad that every day I used to go to one person's house for food. Okay. So all those people were doing Nitya Dana. It can be once a week or it can be every day. Nitya means at regular intervals. Next, there are some people who do Dana for some specific purpose. You want to overcome some difficulty, some challenge in life. So you pray and say that I will do Dana. I will feed so many people. Oh Lord, please help me. I have this difficulty. So let this difficulty go away. This is called as Naimittika Dana. Okay. Kamya Dana. Kamya means desire. Right. We all go and say that if people go to Tirupati and say, if I get a job in this company, if I get so much of salary, I will come and put so much of donation into your hundi. This is called as Kamya Dana. I am just giving an example. So you go and pray that if you get this, you will do this much of Dana or charity. That is called as Kamya Dana. You do Dana or charity for what? To achieve something, to gain something for your own personal interest. And then we have another kind of Dana which is called as Vimala Dana. Vimala Dana is to just give without any personal gain or interest. You just want to give because you feel happy. You don't want anything. You are not expecting anything. You are just doing charity because you want to feel happy. You feel happy. Right? So that is called as Vimala Dana. Right? So these are all the different types of danas and the different reasons why people do charity, which has been given in our various texts. So now let us come to the question. The question asked by Yaksha was, how does one gain fame or yasha? And Yudhishthira answers that those who do charity. Now why is it that a person who does charity gets name or fame? If we go through our entire history, we only remember those people who have done great things for the society. We do not remember great kings who lived a lavish life. We do not remember people who are very rich. We remember great acharyas. To this day, we remember Chanakya, who lived more than 2000 years back. What was the greatest Dāna gift he gave? Is the knowledge system. Shankaracharya, we still remember him. Why? Because for the Vidya Dāna which he gave to the entire country. It can be Valmiki or it can be any others. In history, we remember certain great kings, the great queen Ahalya Bai Holkar. Nowadays, we all know about her. Why? If you go through her history, we find that she has done so much of Dāna. She has built so many temples, she has renovated temples, she has provided food, places for people to, travelers to eat across India. So we remember them because they have done so much of charity. So the only way to become well known is to do charity. And the other clauses, one should not do charity because one wants to become famous. You are not going to do charity because you will become famous, but we have to do charity because it is a part of our Dharma. It is part of our duty. But by doing Dāna, we will get name and fame. Right? So this is a very important question asked by Yaksha, and very important. We have to understand why charity was given as the answer by Yudhishthira. Ramayana workbook is based on Valmiki Ramayana. This workbook is suitable for children above the age of 12. There are exercises, fill in the blanks, quizzes, crosswords, puzzles, etc. from the Ramayana itself. There has been an overwhelming response for the books with over 1,200 copies sold in just a month. A book which can be given as a birthday gift or as return gifts or as competition prizes, etc. For orders and discounts, WhatsApp 9739003467.